talking about personal power. There's three major areas that I find that can pull on. You can pull on for personal power. But most importantly, what is personal power? Especially in this time, this situation, there's a lot tugging on our personal power. We're often in a position that we need to share more of it than we can keep. So I think we want to pull it. We want to pull it back in, rein some of our power back in, if not all. It's that saying of putting the oxygen mask on you first. It's time to move forward. There's a lot of people that are saying this is a time of opportunity. I believe it is, but I think it's also a time of rest. We're so highly overstimulated in this world. We're often living up in our head or even out of our head. We're inundated with advertising and swiping on our phones and seeing other people and perhaps even creating a judgment or a criticism to that person. Whenever we judge somebody else, we are in fact, finger at us first, judging you first. The only way that you can make a judgment of someone else is if you make a judgment about yourself. There's often, if somebody is making a judgment of you and you learn of it, or they speak it directly to you in this time, in this age, it seems like the voice is loud in all directions, even from, and especially from family, where judgment can hurt the most. Then we only eat that. We only take that as nourishment or not, or poison, if we have an ounce of that we believe that to be true for ourselves, for yourself. These are all areas that we deplete our personal power. They pick at us. Every time we swipe and we see someone, we're making a judgment, it picks at you. Every time you take something personally from what somebody says, it picks at you. Even if you think something poorly of someone else, it picks at you. Every thought can be either a depletion of your energy or an addition to your energy. So if it's a low vibe thought, it's going to deplete. And if it's a high vibe thought, as in vibration, then it will add. Love is one of the highest vibrations. So let's get started in calling in your personal power. Calling in that place of the first point, you got it, grounding. Creating our safety and our security. If we don't feel safe, our whole body is going to be exerting energy in order to create safety. Even though we may feel that we're perfectly safe. Like, of course the body knows I'm safe. I'm sitting in my house, for heaven's sakes. But safety is on so many different levels. You think about all the cell phones in the world. That would be like the different levels of our safety that the body is thinking of, as its subconscious mind is programmed, pre-programmed, and it's running your thoughts all the time, and you don't even know a fraction of them, because it's transferring data at 40 billion bits per second. 40 billion bits per second, I think it is, or maybe it's trillion. If you haven't watched it already, go watch Dr. Bruce Lipton in his Inner Evolution. It's amazing. He is the most amazing person. I had an opportunity to share a week with him, and at a beautiful Indigenous Sundance ceremony that I felt so deeply honored to be there. Talk about getting back your personal power and being in nature and being with the earth. That level of groundedness brought tears to my eyes. I cried every day, the level of connectivity. So let's just take a small piece of that recipe right here, right now, and turn on our imagination, because when we do that, we engage in the present moment. The present moment is our personal power. Every step of the way in these next three areas that we're going to cover are our personal area. Oh, fourth, we'll have a little bonus one at the end. So imagine that these are your feet and you're feeling them fully engaged on the floor. You've got, in the shaman world, we'd use tree roots coming out of the bottom of your feet. We are no different than these energy beings in this tree kingdom, so to speak. Our roots are etheric, meaning you can't see them. They're an energy force. They are, in fact, connecting to the earth at all times. So let's do that now. So you can even turn it into a mini meditation. Close your eyes and feel those tree roots coming out the bottom of your feet. We're going to direct that through the earth's crust and down into the different 3 layers of the earth, right down to that crystalline core. So let's first think of going through the rock and the slate. Is it cool? Is it warm? Can you feel the sand? Is it sharp? Can you taste it? Sometimes my mouth goes dry. It's like it's a mineral taste in my mouth. Can you hear it? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Allow those tree roots to go down into the next layer, which is the molten. It's liquid. See if your feet can traverse the liquid faster than you just did in the rocks. Can you feel the warmth on your feet? And down into the crystalline core. Now wrap your tree roots around, or your etheric energy feet around that crystalline core. Permission to receive the earth's energy. Permission is always necessary to receive from other sources, other levels of intelligence, so to speak. And now draw that earth energy up. Breathe down into your lower abdomen. And at the same time, breathe that energy up like a vacuum, or like you're sucking on a straw. Breathe it up into the bottom of your feet and your ankles, into your calves and your knees and your thighs. Breathe it into your hips, those beautiful joints that allow us to get places and move. Down into the lower abdomen, meeting that delicious deep diaphragmatic breath that you've engaged, down into that low abdomen. And draw it up into the next levels of the abdomen, level 2 and level 3, and up into the chest, the 4th energy center, the chakra, anahata. Breathe it into the heart. Allow it to expand as we activate that heart energy. Bring it up over the shoulders. Oh, give it a little stretch, not too far. And just imagine the weight of the world being washed off your shoulders as it cascades down your arms to your fingertips. Face those fingertips towards the earth, and with intention, allow your hands to release that energy, that weight of the world energy with focused intention into the earth and nowhere else, straightly into the earth. See if you can feel it on the edge of your fingertips. Sometimes you can just sort of imagine opening your nails like windows on your fingers to release all that energy. Now turn it off, come back up, and continue to bring up that earth energy up into your neck, the gateway of the mind and the body, the place where we speak our truth, where we release the ego of my will and really realize that the earth and I, the universe, we mirror each other, and it is actually thy will. Now draw it up into the head, feeling this beautiful earth energy, often seen as red frequency. Allow it to come out the top of your head if you so wish, and if not, you can do it internally, and allow it to cascade down the outside or the inside of your body. On the outside, you're sort of touching that first layer, that second layer of your biofield, our human energy field that we walk in. Now come into the center. Bring this line that you've created from the center core of the earth and allow it to come up through the perineum and allow it to go through the spine as we center, and just rock a little bit and see if you can find this still point. And open the heart, become heart-centered. Think of something that you love deeply. Allow that heart to expand. Now, if you could share that love with somebody else at this time, Share it with your family, someone that's having a difficult time. Share it with the globe who's having a difficult time. Share it with the universe, who has had every planet in retrograde this year. It's really interesting. Retrograde is like introspection. It's like going inside, stepping back with each of the characteristics of the planet, and it bubbles it up, so to speak. We've had a lot of bubbling up, and it's necessary. It's part of our evolution. It's a part of our growth. It's about living in our truth of this area, the truth of thy will, and now engaging as we align to divine consciousness, God, creator, source, energy, higher self, higher consciousness, divine consciousness, archangels, angels, gurus, sages, the place of many names. You call it, you're the boss, whatever that is for you today, that other source, that other intelligence, straight up through the solar system, through the Milky Way into the cosmos. Feel that connection with that line. We're putting up our antennas saying, I'm here, I am, I am. I give permission to receive and open this superhighway of energy, this love energy, this high frequency divine source of intelligence into the seventh chakra, the Sahasrara, known as the 1,000-petal lotus. Let it capture all that raining down of that beautiful divine energy and allow it to come into the head, filling every space, every cell, emitting that illumination, that spark, that light, that love, that frequency. It's also a healing frequency. Permission to heal. Permission to heal as it comes through our vocal cords. Permission to speak with love. Teach me, guide me. I want to know more. More of this, please, into my heart. Wash and bathe my whole heart region, my lungs, clean my lungs of all this smoke and toxins within our world that are unfortunately burning up, much of it on the West Coast here. Bring that over the shoulders to continue to heal those shoulders that are carrying that weight of the world, and release it down into your arms and your hands. Again, taking the time to take that into Mother Earth. And bringing it down into the abdomen with our deep diaphragmatic breath, of filling the breath in the side ribs and the back and the lower abdomen, and into the hips and the thighs and the knees and the calves and the feet. Let's take some time. What are you feeling here? Let's lock in these two energies that we always have with us. We are never alone. We are never unsupported. When we come into the heart center, this is our largest energy center. We are an energy being. This is our personal power. When we call in and request assistance from our higher selves, our divine consciousness, that intelligence above and the intelligence inside, we are calling in. We're bringing everything back into you. Feel that. Do you have like little truth bumps? Can you feel that on your dermis, on your skin, your largest organ? Let's just take a time now just to sit with a couple of affirmations. Affirmations are so very important. It's like for our frontal cortex. This is where the manifestation takes place. This is our consciousness area. We've just stepped back into our subconscious to access that. We can set new neural pathways. I am ready, willing, and able to be the best I can be. I am ready. I am willing. I am able to be the best I am. Yes. I learn from my fears. I don't eat them for breakfast. I learn from them as they lead me to wisdom. It leads you to wisdom. What is that fear? Where does it come from? When did it originate? How old is that fear? What does that fear need to heal? What color would that fear be to heal? What does it need? What does it need love? And what color is that love? And then breathe in. Breathe in like medicine to that fear. Breathe in that color of love. Bathe it with that. Then go back and check on the fear. How is the fear doing now? Just by naming it, the body knows, oh, they know what's going on. You know what's going on. You know that we're in fear and you're doing something about it. The body feels safer. Make an agreement to work with that fear. Make an agreement to work with yourself. And then say, I dare to allow my visions and dreams to come true. And write them down. The involution is all those parts that are nagging at you saying with the self-sabotage, that you're not good enough, that self-destruction, that lower vital, that lower vibe that keeps you in that fear, hypersensitivity. And it is this work, this personal power work that we just used, the 3 areas, grounding, centering, and aligning. Set your intention when you're here. What is it that you want? Your visions and your dreams. Bring this in. This grounding, centering, and aligning is part of a toolkit for your evolution because it allows you to be in that personal power you have. Raise that voltage. Hang out with people that have a higher voltage. Hang out with people that can offer you that positivity, these affirmations of positivity. Pull back the rewind tab or go back tab. Write these down. Put them on your mirror. Put them in your phone. Put them on your computer. But most of all, put them in your mind. I love you. If you want to know more, please see the link in the description and come and do our monthly membership where we walk in this as a witness of awareness. We work with strategies each month to live it and observe it and offer it meaning making and change it and step into this personal power in so many ways. My name's Deborah O'Neill. I'm CEO and founder of BlissBEME. I am certified in 7 modalities. I love to be here and share because I so deeply care. And I love you and invite you. Make it your best